Hello and welcome back to The Real Deal. Today we have got two massive games for you. Roma in the Champions League and then Athletico Madrid in La Liga. Since you were last here, things have been superb. Nearly 100% record since you were last here. We'll take you through it since you were last here. It's been really good stuff. So last time you were here, we played against Porto and Malaga in the League and the Champions League respectively. Both 2-0 wins there, which are quite nice. Since then, we have played 5 games, won 4 of them and lost 1. But we keep our unbeaten record in the league so far. In fact, we won every single game in the league so far, so that's pretty good going. We start off with a 2-0 win over Villarreal. Hans Osmanovic keeping up with his decent start to the season by scoring 2 goals there in the opening half to make sure we won that one, which is pretty nice stuff, I've got to say. Athletic Pamplona up next. Osmanovic with another brace and Luka Adzic with a goal back time. Athletic Pamplona or Osasuna, they're still bottom of the table actually. I think they were bottom of the table when we played them. They're still bottom of the table now, so that was a pretty routine win. We then had the Champions League game against Manchester United. Dani Ceballos scoring both goals for Manchester United there. And if you're a very old school subscriber here, you'll know that we used to have Dani Ceballos at Roma when we did the Journeyman save in FM17. So that's quite a while ago now, but he was a very good player for us then. Clearly a very good player now for Manchester United. We didn't think we'd win that game anyway, so I wasn't really too fussed about losing that one. We thought we'd lose it anyway, especially away from home. We followed it up though with a 1-0 win against Granada. Ricardo Orsolini getting himself on the score sheet there. We created lots of chances which didn't really take them in that game, which is a bit frustrating. We should have done a lot more, and we should have scored a lot more rather, I should say, but we didn't, obviously. And then last time out, a Luka Adzic penalty was the only thing that separated us from Valencia in a very cagey game. Valencia, probably the first team that we came up against this season in the league that are actually decent and could have beaten us, basically. So if you look at the teams that we've played against so far, none of them are really, going to cause a team of our calibre, at least now, a challenge, I've got to say. I think all teams, apart from Valencia, are in the bottom half of the table. So we've had quite an easy start, I've got to say. A quick look at the table, though, does show us that we are 4 points clear at the top of the table from Real Madrid and a good 6 points off Atletico Madrid so far. So that's very nice to see. We'll still be top of the table at the end of today's episode. We're only playing the one league game, of course. Valencia are in 7th, but of course, as you can see, other teams that we've played. Bilbao 8th, actually. Espanyol 10th, but the teams are right down there in the bottom half of the table. So we've had quite an easy start. Atletico Madrid today is going to be the first massive test, I've got to say. And if we can overcome that, then really we could be hot on for the title this season. In terms of our Champions League group, you can just see down here, obviously we beat Porto, lost to Man United, but Roma and Porto drew with each other. So we stay second in the group, which is nice. A win against Roma today would go some way to securing qualifications for later stages for us, because I can't see Porto beating Manchester United. So I think a win today would be fantastic for us. And of course, we start off with the Roma game. So this is the lineup for today's game. Slightly changed from last time you were here. We're just resting a few players, trying a few players in different sort of positions. And some players have played a little better than I thought they would do, so they sort of deserve a start. So, Burke stays in goal. The back line is the same, I think, of Cucurella, Sharon, Lemos and Ruiz. The midfield changes slightly with Harbo in that CDM position. Cardia today as that box-to-box midfielder because Dad's looking quite tired after the recent games. And Stan has been playing very well, actually, this season. I think he's started more than Cardia so far, actually, in that deep line playmaker position. Adzic, of course, on the left. Orsolini, of course, on the right. And, of course, Hans Osmanovic starting up front. He's already got 10 goals this season to his name, so hopefully he'll add to his tally today. Right then, kick-off is upon us, which is very nice. Roma, of course, playing in their traditional colours at a home stadium. I'm not quite sure what you'd call the Roma kit colour. Like, is it a burgundy? I think burgundy is probably the closest colour you'd say Roma. Man United, though, have just gone 2-0 up against Porto in 10 minutes. So my prediction of Porto not being able to beat Manchester United is going pretty well. Man United are always going to top the group. They're the best team out there. They always seem to do very well in Football Manager for some reason. They've got very good players, but clearly in real life it doesn't work out quite like that. Chance for us now, though, 20 minutes into the game as Hans Osmanovic gets on the end of a throw and puts it in towards Stan, who puts the ball into Luka Adzic, who was waiting at the back post, and that was a beautiful goal, I've got to say. This is what Stan has been doing very well, actually. He's been really good at actually getting on the assists, really trying to... Because Colonna was always very good, but he started the moves off. And that's what he got his recognition for, whereas Stan is sort of the middleman more, actually, I've got to say. He gets involved a lot more, I think. Doesn't always work out, I've got to say. But he does do quite a lot of work further along the move as well, which is quite nice to see, which is why I quite like him, I've got to say. Orsolini then had his shot saved. He puts the corner in himself now, and it's headed clear for a goal kick in the end. So nothing coming up from that highlight, unfortunately. Stan, though, putting the ball into the area from this corner, the corner free kick gets onto the head of Mauricio Lemos. He makes it 2-0, which is fantastic stuff. Already 2-0 up away from home to Roma, which is very good. I've also noticed as well that Roma seem to have quite a few, they've got 2 Tottenham Hotspur ex-Tottenham Hotspur players, but they've also got Virgil van Dijk, Toby Alderweireld, Hugo Lloris, of course. They're the two Tottenham players. So you can sort of assume that perhaps Roma have a bit of an ageing side, and perhaps that's why we've been able to dominate them so much. As Luka Adžić is in absolute acres of space there. Fantastic pass. I think Orsolini made it, actually. That was a fantastic pass, and unfortunately didn't quite come off, but the chances we're creating are fantastic. Sweet. That was a very nice first half there. Us and Manchester United dominating our games by looks of things. Rudiger scoring an own goal for Leverkusen there. So Rudiger gone from Chelsea to Leverkusen is now scoring again for Chelsea. So that's quite nice for Chelsea fans out there. Either way, though, we need to focus on our game, not the Chelsea game. This is the game that's most important to us. Luka Adžić apparently picked up a knock very early on in the second half. We won't risk him. We're 2-0 up as well, so I feel like it's safe to bring on Leonardo Meza, who hasn't played too much recently, Leonardo Meza. It's literally just because Adžić has been absolutely fantastic in the games he's played. So there's no point really swapping him out. I like to swap Orsolini, and Pelaez, because Pelaez and Orsolini are sort of more similar in how they play. Their ratings are very similar. They seem to get pretty similar stats in games, so I don't mind swapping those two around. But Luka Adžić, he is miles ahead of just about every player on the pitch, actually, I've got to say. Not just Leonardo Meza. Luka Adžić is miles ahead of every player on the pitch. Porto looks like they're having a comeback, actually. It's now 3-2 to Man United, but Porto coming back into that game. If they can grab a draw, actually, against Man United, that'd be fantastic for us. Perhaps we could then try and sneak into that first place position in the group. But we do have a chance now on the 66-minute mark. Leonardo Meza making his mark on the game now, puts it forward towards Osmanovic, just a little bit too much on it, but that would have been an incredible pass if it had come off. Stefan Al-Shaarawy, who's come onto the pitch for Roma, and he's come forward with the ball, passes it to the striker Isaac, but Isaac doesn't really do much with it. We are going to make two changes, though, right before the 70-minute mark. We're going to take Sharon off for Vazquez, and we're also going to take Stan off. He's played very well, although we just leave him on. He's played very well. We may as well keep him on the pitch. Harbo is looking equally as tired as Stan, so we'll take Harbo off, bring Thomas Partey on, and hopefully that should seal the game for us, basically. We can see the game out, get the 3 points that we need, and that'll be lovely. As you can tell, though, not much going on in the second half. Very, very few highlights. But that's fine, because we did the business in the first half. We scored the 2 goals relatively early on. We've seen to, I think we're pretty much going to be safe for the 3 points now, although Roma are coming forward. El-Shaarawy is in behind Gomez, who puts it in, hits the post there. It's not Gomez, it's Ruiz. It's Gaston Ruiz, isn't it, of course? But as I was saying, I think the 3 points are wrapped up, and with a good 5 seconds left on the clock, there's no way that Roma are scoring 2 or 3 goals in that time. The full-time whistle is gone. Oviedo 2, Roma 0. A fantastic result there. We keep our nearly unbeaten record. Only have lost to Manchester United so far this season. A very nice victory. Well done out there, boys. I thought we struggle a bit this season after losing Colono, because he is such an amazing key player. But I think the money that we got from him and managed to invest into numerous positions rather than just one position has really helped us and benefited us. That must be like the 6th or 7th clean sheet we've kept this season as well. We've had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9 clean sheets now, which is absolutely ridiculous, actually. 9 clean sheets this season. Only conceded 1 goal in the league, 2 in the Champions League. Like, obviously, this new defence must be very, very good, and Berke Özil doesn't have much to do with himself. Or maybe Berke Özil just got even better over the pre-season, and then he now just saves everything. Right, 4 days until the big Atletico Madrid game. Is it away? Oh, it's at home. It's at home. So that's kind of good for us. It kind of helps us out a little bit. We're going to rest all the players, of course. Rest for a day. How long is Adžić out for? 3 to 7 days. So he may not play in that Atletico Madrid game. We have to put Leonardo Meza onto the pitch for that. And in spectacular fashion, our under-19s have beaten Roma under-20s 5-0. Usually the under-19s do really well in the under-20s Champions League. However, they lost to Man United and drew with Porto, so actually find themselves 3rd in the group this time. If they don't go through this year, this will be the first time they've not progressed past the group stage of their Champions League, which is very, very poor for them. I also quite like as well, Sporting Gijón got relegated last season from the Liga to the 2nd division, and of course our B team are now in the 2nd division, so they have to play Gijón. So I mean, Gijón fans must be hating that, because they have to play against our B team, which is just disrespectful. And actually the B team very nearly won. Gijón were winning it until the 88th minute when Cesar Cusco scored. Then Fran Cordoba scored to make it 3-2, and they scored in the 90th minute. So that could have been a massive turnaround at the end, which would have just been a real insult to Gijón fans there. 20,000 people turned up to that game, and they imagine being a Gijón fan. 20,000 or 21,000 of you nearly turning up to watch your team nearly lose to your biggest rivals' reserves, essentially. That would have been embarrassing if that had happened. So they just managed to grab a draw, but you know, if I was a manager, which in fact we haven't got a manager for, I forgot to do that. I meant to get them a new manager. I've still not got around to doing that yet. So they are doing very, very well without an actual manager. I will do it after this episode. Right then, well, here we are for the Atletico Madrid game. I've had to sit through, with the last game to kick off, so I've had to sit through every single game and just press continue for every single game because obviously everyone kicks off at different times and it just takes an age for it to load. It's really frustrating just sitting here. It's the one thing I don't like about the Spanish league is that every game kicks off at a different time. And it just means you have to sit and process everything for a while. Either way, though, we do have to take Luka Adzic off the pitch on the grounds that he has got an injury and isn't really fit enough to start playing in today's. So Adzic off, Meza on the pitch. I think we're going to leave Stan on the pitch. He played very well last game, so we'll leave him on. But I do want to bring Dad on for Cardia in that box-to-box midfield role. Other than that, I think I want to keep the team pretty much the same. We've been trying to keep a similar team from the off this season, I've got to say. I think in recent years, we've been a bit more rotative with our squads around the start of the season. It hasn't maybe worked out quite that well because everyone has to learn to play with each other again and things like that. But quickly, this team have learned to play with each other pretty well. So we've sort of got the core squad and then a few little rotations every now and again, rather than having, 2 or 3 players every game sort of rotating out. I think keeping a more solid lineup is working in our favour, and clearly it seems to be because we're unbeaten in the league so far, only conceded 1 goal in the league, but we haven't had a test in the league. And Atletico Madrid today, with this fantastic lineup, is going to be our first test, I think. Although I can't see Vieto there, and Vieto is always the Atletico Madrid player that has caused us massive problems. So if Vieto's not there, maybe we're okay. Right then, kickoff is upon us, and we are looking to maintain our unbeaten record today. And when I say unbeaten, I mean 100% winning record. That's what we want to maintain. If we could draw today, we're still unbeaten, technically speaking, but a win today would be even better. And we looks like we're trying to score an early goal here as Osmanovic has his shot. Save the goalkeeper there. I'm trying to talk too fast, and I just got I've been on the phone all day at work, basically, calling up people all day at work. So I'm tired of talking. I've got to talk now. I just want to give my mouth the rest, really. Throw in for us then, 18 minutes into the game, onto Stan, who loses possession. Osmanovic loses it in the area as well after we regained it briefly. But Osmanovic back on it, out to Ruiz, who can put a decent cross in and hands. Osmanovic didn't score last game against Roma, but scores his 11th of the season to make it 1-0 against Atletico Madrid right now. Atletico Madrid, obviously a huge team, very, very good. They were very unlucky last year, I've got to say, in not doing so well. I think they missed out on Champions League football in the end last season. Or did they miss out? I can't remember. It was them or Barcelona that missed out on Champions League football. One of them did. It may well actually have been Barcelona because Barcelona have had a poor start to the season this year as well. Find themselves in 6th place in the table right now. Either way, though, that was a very, very quick first half. Only that one highlight in there, basically. One very early on, then that one highlight there for the goal. So, I mean, that's fine by me. A lack of highlights means that they can't score goals. And when we're already winning, that's even better for me. So I'm happy with this. Looks like the second half's going in a similar direction, actually, with a lack of highlights. And again, that is fine because it just means Atletico Madrid can't score. I don't really know what's happened, though, this season. I don't know why we're suddenly so good. A red card there for the Atletico Madrid player as well, which is even better for us. But I mean, obviously, we've been very, very good the past 2 seasons. We've come 2nd in the league. We came 4th in the league as well, didn't we? So we've had 3 very good seasons, but this year we seem to be on another level. Now, of course, we lost to PSG in the Super Cup. We've lost to Man United. We're not obviously at that level. We're not at the level of those kind of clubs. But the way we're playing so far in this division, we've only conceded the 1 goal so far this season in the league. We could concede another one now here as we've just conceded a penalty. Apparently, Harbo handballed it, which is very frustrating. Griezmann steps up, and Berke Urza can't quite save it right. They've only got 10 men on the pitch. So what we're going to do is we're going to take Harbo off. We're going to bring Sousa on. And we're going to try a bit more attacking formation, I think. Leonardo Meza not played massively well. So we're going to take a risk and bring Adzic on as well. See if we can grab a goal late on in this game. The point I was trying to make, though, was we haven't changed things too much. We've got a new defence, basically. We've got 3 new defenders out of 4. So I don't know if that's just the big difference. We've suddenly got some defenders who can actually defend a bit better. They're slightly better quality, know what they're doing a little bit more. Perhaps that's what's turned things around for us. Of course, we're not conceding goals. Only conceded 2 goals in the league now. Perhaps that's what it is. I don't know, but we seem to be on another level this season, and I'm not complaining, but I'm not quite sure where it's come from. We do have a chance now, though, in the 18th minute as Cucurella tries to... he just put it over the bar. I think he tried to play it into Adzic, but it got blocked, and he decided to take the shot on himself, and it just went over the bar. Stan also looking quite tired out there now, so we are going to bring Kadir on for the final 10 minutes or so. Hopefully he can bring an extra dimension into this game. We're also going to say push forward to the boys out there as well. I think we can go and win this game. We've had enough chances, I think, and we've got the quality in our ranks to do so. Dad puts the ball into Sousa, who comes off the bench and within 2 minutes scores the goal to put us back ahead in this game, which is fantastic stuff. You've got to say, we deserve the win today. The stat-wise, we've been a lot better. Atletico Madrid perhaps lucky with the penalty that they got, but I think we do deserve the win today. And with 2 minutes to go, there is another highlight. Now, what is going to happen in this highlight? Looks like Griezmann could try and punish us. He gets the ball through to his man, but doesn't quite get there. Ruiz gets in the way. Now we've got the counter-attack. Adzic in behind the defence. Looks to go for glory, but doesn't quite get it. And that was going to be the last bit of action of the game. There's a last little highlight to go now. If they score now, I'll be very cross, but Ruiz gets in the way there to clear the ball. Cardia manages to get it up to Bernardo Sousa. And we've got one last counter-attack, perhaps. Dad tries to put it in towards Osmanovic, doesn't quite get there. Has a second chance, though, gets it to Cardia. He can't get it through. We've gone over the allotted time by 40 seconds. I mean, come on, referee, blow your whistle now. I just want to get the win. He does blow the whistle. Oviedo 2, Atletico Madrid 1. We keep a 100% win record in the league. We're still top of the table. This is fantastic. There we go then. Fantastic stuff. Still looking pretty good. Still an awful lot. I mean, that red blotch is, that looks a bit annoying now, but it is Manchester United, so I can sort of accept that. But loads and loads of green, which is lovely to see. As you can see, we're still top of the table by 4 points from Real Madrid. 9 points ahead of Atletico Madrid now and Valencia, of course. So that's fantastic stuff. 5 points clear of Roma and Porto in the Champions League as well. It's all looking fantastic, isn't it? It's looking like it's going to be... I didn't think we could top last season, really. I didn't think we could top it after the Europa League win. I thought that was probably the extent of what this Oviedo side could do in the time that we've given ourselves. But this season, the way things are going so far, maybe we could top it. Now, of course, because we've got a bit of limited time before FM19 comes out, we want to get through this season relatively quickly so we don't overlap. That would be pretty awful. Next episode is going to be this Manchester United game and this Real Betis game, I think. Or maybe do this Vigo game and Man United. Either way, Man United is going to be the next episode. I'll decide if we want it to be Vigo or Betis at the time. That way we can get plenty of games out of the way. We can start to get on with the season and start to really progress with this season, of course, as well. So next episode, Manchester United and one of those two games. So thank you very much for watching today. If you have enjoyed it, make sure you do drop a like on the video. Subscribe to the channel if you're new around here. And I will see you next time for some more Real Deal.